Hey guys, I know learning trig on your own is hard work, but hang in there, you'll figure it out. In this video, we're going to take a look at angle of elevation and angle of depression. So right now, I would like you to stick your hand straight forward in front of you. No, seriously, do it. Go ahead and stick your hand straight out in front of you. That is the horizontal, that is the horizon. Now, I would like you to pretend like you're the person in the airplane picture there, and look up, move your arm up towards the airplane. That is called the angle of elevation. Okay? Now, pretend that you are the airplane pilot. Again, put your hands straight out in front of you, and now look down to the person on the ground. That's called the angle of depression. These are two important ideas and definitions. Make sure that you add them to your note cards, that you add them to your memory. Make sure that you understand what these are. Again, from the horizontal up is the angle of elevation. To do an angle of depression, you have to be up high. You look out at the horizontal and you look down, and that's the angle of depression. All right, let's try these out in a couple word problems. Key idea for the word problem is make sure you draw the picture and you understand what it's saying. So you are flying a kite and you let out 150 feet of string. You estimate your angle of elevation is 70 degrees. About how high is your kite? Okay, and so we are going to simplify this a little bit. It says about how high, so we're going to pretend like the kite string is actually just on the ground. I know, in real life it's not, but you're flying a kite, so you let out some string. You've got your kite up here. How much string do you let out? You let out 150 feet. You estimate your angle of elevation. Remember where your angle of elevation is? From the horizon up. So that's right here. Horizon up is about 70 degrees. So we set that at 70 degrees. And the question is, how high is your kite? You might be tempted to say 150, but realize your kite's height is actually here. This distance here is shorter than 150 feet. And so now we have to find this. I'm guessing you can. Pause it and try it on your own if you can. Key idea, notice we have h, and we have 150, and we have 70. Hopefully you're thinking, oh, I have an angle, I have the hypotenuse, I have the opposite side, I can use a trig function to solve this. If you're not quite there yet, that's okay. Just think about it. Recognize that this is the opposite side. Recognize this is the hypotenuse. And so if I have opposite and hypotenuse, I'm going to want to use sine of theta equals opposite over hypotenuse. So the sine of 70 has to equal h over 150. Put it over 1. Cross multiply. H times 1 equals 150 times the sine of 70. And we can then enter that in the calculator and get 150 sine of 70. And that's going to tell us the height is 140.9 or 141.0 feet high. Let's take a look at number 10. Number 10, we have a tree. That's my tree. It cast a 26-foot shadow. So it's got a 26-foot shadow. It says when the angle of elevation of the sun is about 60 degrees. This is going to bother me a little bit. My sun is here. Angle of elevation is 60 degrees. So in this case, I'm looking this way at the horizon, and then I'm looking up at the sun, and that angle is 60 degrees. Okay? Now, see how I adjusted my picture here a little bit? 26, a 60-degree angle on there would have not worked in my picture. So I just adjusted. Okay. And the question is, how tall is the tree? How tall is this tree? All right, so let's take a look. What do we have here? We have 26, we have 60. We're looking for h. H is not the hypotenuse. What is h? H is opposite. I have adjacent. So in this case, I've got opposite and adjacent. I'm going to use tangent of the angle is opposite side over adjacent side. So tangent of 60 degrees equals h over 26. Then we just solve. We can cross multiply. We get h equals 26 tan of 60. 26 tangent of 60. Remember to make sure your calculator's in degree mode. You get 45 degrees. Sorry, not 45 degrees. 45 feet tall. So, quick review on this video. We've got angle of elevation from the horizon up. We've got angle of depression if you're the pilot from the horizon down. This problem, we set up our picture, angle of elevation. 150 is the string. We use sine to set up the equation and solve. For the tree, we again have an angle of elevation here, 60 degrees. The shadow's 26 feet. They want to know the height. I don't know if this makes sense. The sun is up here, and the tree is going to block the sun, and so where it's not, we're going to get light out here, and then here we're going to get shadow, and so it's going to make a right triangle. I didn't really talk about that, but that's what's going on there. And then we use the tangent function to solve that equation.